Hi everyone, meteorologist Chester Lampkin here. We are on Weather Watch. Thanks for joining us on this live stream here on WUSA9.com and of course our app and WUSA9 Plus. We are tracking rain and this Weather Watch alert that is going to be with us through the morning hours, and we'll keep the alert going in through the afternoon because of gusty winds. So I want to start by looking at this radar, and I'm going to leave it up here so you can kind of gather what's going on as we start our day. If you haven't been outside yet today, boy, it is a soaking rain across the area, and that rain is not messing around. It is not particularly heavy, but it is widespread, and that's enough for us to have to deal with quite the downpour activity across the area. So this is how it kind of shapes up right now across our region. I moved in a little bit closer on the radar just so you can kind of get a better idea of what we're dealing with. A little bit closer into the Beltway, and it is all rain across the area. Let's get a little bit closer if we can, right into D.C. here. And you can see all four quadrants dealing with the rain. It's a steady light to moderate rains looking up the roads. You know, Michelle's been tracking it all morning long, and we have more updates on TV, on WUSA 9, Channel 9, through this 8 o'clock hour. So we'll see you here back here at 8:25 for another look at the roads. But the idea is that no matter where you live here in Metro Washington, you're dealing with a steady light rain across the area. Silver Spring up through College Park and back through Bladensburg, and farther north and east through Seabrook and Lanham and up to Bowie as well. You can see the rain steady and widespread along the 301 corridor, Crane Highway, down through Upper Marlboro. We'll take you down through Rosaryville and over to Clinton, Brandywine. Rain continues to fall at this hour. Right on down through Accokeek as well, and right on through Waldorf and Charles County. I'm going to widen out the view just a little bit. You can see La Plata is soaking rain here. Again, driving up 301 and right on up through parts of D.C. We'll take you down in through Arlington, Alexandria, Falls Church area, and the rain is steady and widespread. Maryfield, Falls Church, there's Arlington County, and you can see from the Pentagon all the way to Courthouse Square, we got rain. Bailey's Crossroads there in Fairfax County, Annandale, dealing with the rain early this morning. And right on through Alexandria, Old Town, right about here. Steady rain stretching down that one corridor and down 400 over to Mount Vernon and down through Kingstown and Newington over to Franconia and the Springfield area. If you're taking the Metro today, you definitely need to grab the rain gear, as we'll be socked in with the rain here for the next several hours. A little bit further west, I want to take you out towards Manassas, Haymarket, Nokesville at the very bottom of your screen, so you can't really see it. Let me see if I can take it down just a bit. There's Nokesville. All rain. That 66 corridor is going to be damp. Route 50 as well out to Aldi. Starting to break up the rain a little bit, but still steady showers in and around Upperville and out to Leesburg, where the rain is not quite as heavy. Luckett's up to Leesburg. And I'm taking to the top side of Montgomery County over to Frederick County. That drive between Frederick through Buckystown, through Clarksburg, Germantown, and Gaithersburg, it's a soaker, 270. The intercounty connector as well through Olney and across to the Beltway. We've got all rain in the area here early this morning. So again, this is the current radar across the area. I want to take you a little further west where we're starting to see the back edge of the rain just trying to creep in just a little bit here, just passing Romney and over to Winchester early this morning. So places like Woodstock, looks like the rain has sort of come to an end. We're probably left with some drizzle here as this shower activity continues to pull off to the north and east here early this morning. Also starting to taper off here in around western Maryland out into the Oakland area and Garrett County, Romney area, Hardy County, places like that. The rain's starting to taper off. And same story here up to Winchester. I'm going to see if I can bring in a little bit closer, kind of see the back edge of that rain here in around Winchester early this morning. And you can see it's just getting into Winchester. So Strasburg, you guys have dried out, maybe some patchy drizzle here. But Cross Junction and Winchester along US 50 and then down Route 7 through Upperville, you're still going to deal with the rain. Berryville up to Frederick, it's a soaker this morning, but you probably only have another hour and a half at most of the steady rain. Hagerstown, Hancock, all rain here along the 70 corridor and out west on 68 as well. And just if you're watching us from the Baltimore area on the live stream as well, you guys are dealing with the rain. So is Annapolis. That drive on 50 Annapolis into D.C. is a soaker, and across the Bay Bridge over to the eastern shore. So kind of a wide view. Once again, I want to show you that wide view of what's happening. And you can see that we've got plenty of rain out there, and we'll have that for the next few hours. We're not quite done with this just yet. Good news is once we get into the afternoon hours, it does taper off somewhat, become a little bit more more showery, and showery weather means that it will have some breaks. There will be some occasional breaks to the weather, meaning that there will be some dry periods. Then we're really going to be focusing in on what's happening with the wind as we head into the afternoon hours. And what I'm doing off screen, by the way, is I'm trying to pull up our feed here, just to make sure everyone is getting us okay as we go through the live stream here, and anyone who may be commenting on, if you're watching us live on Facebook, I'll check out the comments here. I see we only have one so far. It just says, "Let it rain," says David, and hey, fair enough. You know, we gotta get the rain occasionally here, and we will have more opportunities for rain here in the days to come, but the bulk of the rain will be this morning across the area. The good news is it is generally light. At times, it will become a little bit more moderate here, and I'm going to show you that here on our Futurecast in just a moment. So there's the view right now in Washington. This is a live picture at 8:06 a.m., so if you're watching us during the live feed here, like on our WUSA 9 app, this is what the view is here as we look into the city. This is from Northern Virginia, and to get your bearings here, you can see one of the train bridges here. This is that train bridge that takes the VRE and the Amtrak into town. You can see the monument there, and you can see the National Mall is back in this area. And it's a little fuzzy. It's a little hard to see. That's the Capitol right there, and obscured views. There may be some delays at some of the area airports with some flights getting in and out, probably some restrictions with the the instrument flight rules, I should say. Instrument flight rules, meaning that they can't really see as well taking off and landing. So that'll restrict how many planes can land and take off at a time across our area airports. So check with your airline if you're headed out of town here later this morning in through the early afternoon hours. It shakes out like this. This is how we're going to keep the showers around through 10, 11 o'clock. I'm going to show you the future radar here in a moment. Once we get to about 10 to 11, that wind starts to pick up as well. We're really going to notice. It's not too blustery just yet. Temperatures will actually pop up to 60, believe it or not. We've seen rising temperatures all morning long as this warmer air mass, which is also saturated, lots of moisture with it, is moving in. Winds will really howl in that 3, 4 to 5 o'clock time period because the cold front will blow through. So we're going to go from a southerly wind that we're seeing this morning and midday to west to northwesterly breezes. That's that colder air pushing in. So by 6, 7 o'clock, we're dropping into the 40s. And we have a super cold night coming our way, especially in comparison to where we were this morning. Most of us will drop into the 20s and low 30s overnight tonight, but the rain will be done. That means it's not going to convert over to snow. This is an all-rain event for us. And as I was mentioning, the wind. It is going to be big-time windy here over the next couple of hours. This particular model brings the gusty winds already in by 9 o'clock. That might be a little too soon, but I'm going to take it at 10 o'clock, and you could see right around 9, 10 o'clock, those winds during that time period will really ramp up. That southerly push comes in. Now, I do think this model is overdoing the winds, but the idea that we're going to be in that 35 to 40 mile per hour range for the wind gusts certainly going to be prevalent out there here, including here in the metro. That's a strong southerly breeze. That'll help push temperatures up, but also it's going to make it a little shaky out there for the area roads if you're driving, especially a high-profile vehicle of not just the big rigs, but some of the bigger SUVs and bigger trucks. You'll notice that here, and the smaller cars will get pushed around a little bit on the area highways and freeways. If you have to be out today, a wind protecting layer here for yourself. If you're waiting on the bus or the metro, if you have to cycle, if you're cycling to work, or even just taking the dog out, you'll notice that. I would also, if it's trash day, make sure that you pull that trash can in, kind of secure it down best you can. Or maybe you have to skip trash day because you may end up with a bin down the street here. But those gusts, 35 to 40 in D.C. by 10 o'clock this morning, would take you to noon, still quite windy at this time. Gusts probably around 25 to 30 miles per hour. Bowie, Dale City, Haymarket, Purcellville, 35 to 40 mile per hour gusts. Same in Frederick and up to Winchester as well. We'll take you to 2 o'clock this afternoon. And notice the arrows, they're like kind of coming out of the southwest here, but out of the northwest at this time. This is, again, around 2:30, almost 3 o'clock. That's the cold front coming through. So the winds will change directions and start to push in that colder air. We'll still have very gusty winds behind the front, but it'll be a cold wind coming in behind the front. West to northwesterly breezes, still gusting 35, 40 miles per hour Purcellville, Brunswick, Frederick, down through Washington, Virginia, and over to Front Royal as well, Nokesville, Manassas, Reston, Herndon, and over to Bethesda. This is 5 o'clock this evening. The rain will be shutting down at this time, but we're not done with the wind. Look at these gusts here, 35, 40 miles per hour. Again, our modeling puts it upwards of 45 miles per hour. I think it's possible, especially up over some of these ridge tops, some of the mountains in our area, like in western Loudoun County, and out into the Shenandoah, along the Blue Ridge here in Shenandoah National Park, and back up towards Catoctin Mountain and up to the Frederick area in western parts of Frederick County. We could see gusts, especially in those, watch out in those high road, with those high mountain passes on the roads, like on Route 7, Route 50, 66, and on 70. We could see gusts close to 50 miles per hour at the ridge tops. We do have some wind advisories down here, down through the Blue Ridge and across the Allegheny Mountains. I'm a little surprised that the National Weather Service hasn't issued any wind advisories for our area, but that still could be in play here later this afternoon and this evening. Look at these gusts here, 7:30 this evening. The modeling is putting 40-plus gusts in Leesburg and Reston and close to 50 in Frederick. I do think it's still going to be quite windy. May not be quite that strong, but gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour through 7, 8, 9 o'clock this evening. Make sure those Christmas decorations are really secure there. And there could be, later this afternoon, this evening, with that push of wind, that pulse of wind that moves through at the front and behind it, there could be some isolated power outages. So it may be a good idea to just kind of charge the phone here through the day to make sure that you are prepared for a possible wind gust that can knock out your power temporarily, or maybe even for a couple hours later this evening. 10:30, still quite breezy, but now the winds are starting to slow down some, which is good news here. Gusts close to 30 in D.C., 36 there, Reston. We got gusts 25 to 30 from Chesapeake Beach over to La Plata. It's going to be quite windy on the area waterways, too. There are definitely going to be some gale warnings, if they haven't already been issued, for the Potomac, the tidal portion of the Potomac, and for the Chesapeake. Tomorrow morning, it's still blustery, but it won't be quite as windy tomorrow. Still, that'll take the temperatures down. It'll be in the 20s tomorrow morning to around 30 degrees, but it's going to feel like low 20s because of that wind. All right, again, a look at the futurecast here. I want to take you through it one more time. You can see rain is still with us through 8, 9, 10 o'clock this morning. Steady, widespread, light, and at times moderate rain. Couple flicks of yellow would indicate slightly heavier rain, but we're not going to see a ton of heavy rain. Not a lot of thunder with this, no severe weather. But with the winds ramping up around 10 to 11 o'clock and that rain still out there, it's going to make that rain turn almost sideways at times, just kind of whipping it around. Not a very pleasant morning, even though temperatures will be rising through the 50s here. This is 10 o'clock this morning. I'll take you to 11 o'clock. Still a bit of a steady rain in the metro, though it is starting to ease at this time, and more showery through Culpeper, Front Royal, Winchester out through Martinsburg, and over towards the Hancock, Frostburg areas, and down through Romney as well. And quite a bit of rain still expected to fall out there in far western Maryland, out towards the Allegheny Mountains and the Allegheny Plateau, where temperatures will be more chillier, raw 40s at this time. This is noon, still some showers. Trying to bring in a couple flicks of orange, so there could be a brief downpour right around that lunchtime if you're running some errands there here at noon. At 1 o'clock, still some lingering shower across the area, but the steady rain's now moving to the eastern shore, and we're left with showers in D.C. and up and down the Shenandoah. Temperatures mid-upper 50s, close to 60 as we get in through the afternoon hours. Here's the front moving through. See these showers right here? Frederick, Leesburg, just north of Warrenton. That's the cold front. Behind it, temperatures will be falling. We're in the low 50s at this point at 2:30 for Hagerstown, Martinsburg, Winchester, Stevens City, but closer to 60 in D.C. And there may even be a brief break here of an hour or so of dry weather in D.C. before that last batch of showers move through sometime around 3 to 4 o'clock this afternoon, right at the very beginning of the evening commute, but most of the evening commute will actually be dry. Again, we'll be really concerned about the wind. Check out the temperature difference. Joint base, Andrews at 60. You go a few miles north and west, Gaithersburg at 51. So that's definitely a cold front. 4:30, showers still lingering Calvert, St. Mary's County, Northern Neck, but the rest of us have dried out at this point. Winds will be whipping. We may even get a little sunshine here before the day ends, but it is going to be a lot chillier by later this evening. Look at this. This is 8 o'clock. We're down into the low to mid 40s and even some 30s out there. Not worried about flash freeze or anything of that nature, but certainly going to be tracking that rain coming to an end. Still some damp roads out there, and gusty winds, windy conditions through the morning hours and right on through the afternoon as well. We'll see temperatures bump up into the 50s to around 60 degrees, but again, watch for gusts around 45 miles per hour. So that's it for the live stream here at 8:15. I'm going to sign out for now. Thanks for joining us, and we appreciate you joining us here on WUSA 9. We'll be back later today at noon with the latest on this rain and wind.